Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon or Rising, and it's a weekly reading for April 29 to May the 5th. So your cards this week, Scorpio, are in the position of energies leaving, completing or transitioning. You have the Hierophant. Focused energies, you have Judgment, clarified with the Three of Cups, and you have the Three of Crystals coming in towards the end of the week. So Scorpio, let's start with the Hierophant here. Looks like in your recent past you have been questioning your faith or questioning a situation and asking yourself, does it really align with my beliefs? I think you've been looking for alignment in your life. So you've been looking to bring things in line with your personal values. So in particular, the Hierophant deals with institutions. So institutions could be universities, it could be the place that you're studying. So it may be looking at that education and going, okay, does it actually line up with my values, and will it take me to where I want to go in the future and lead to the kind of job or vocation that's really going to keep me satisfied long term? It could be where you work, a bank, a government organisation, something like that, and you're thinking, does that work really align with who I am? Institutions can be quite organized and sort of have certain ways of doing things, and if you're quite a creative person, you're maybe wondering, how can I bring more of myself into a job or a role that's quite process driven? Or it could be the institution of marriage. So you may be questioning the relationship and whether you can continue on with that into the future, and whether that's going to align with your true self or a self that you may be moving into. So with the Hierophant, the two keys here, so the first one indicates the key that you came in with, so that can indicate the values that were passed down to you from your your childhood, from your parents, from those institutions that you grew up with, the institution of family, of school education, and shaped you to be who you are today. Now the second key indicates your values that you are moving into. So once you come into adulthood and you really get to know yourself, quite often you realize that your true values or self is quite different from the values that were imposed on you as a child, and you do come into a state of disalignment. And quite often, it can be called a midlife crisis, where we see the gap between our true self and the values or systems that we sort of got drawn into, or that were we came into through through that shaping from our childhood. So it's a really interesting process, and I feel for me that's what the Hierophant has represented, that you're actually beginning to challenge all those institutions and your faith in life at the moment. So what an interesting card to follow that up with as your focus energy, Judgment, this week. Is it just me, or do these cards often follow each other? When you start reading tarot, you really notice that there are patterns, and for me these cards, often there's justice in the mix as well, but these cards often come out together. I almost sort of had a bit of a laugh to myself when I saw Judgment come out, because Judgment is the card of second chances, or the final call. So I think it's really asking you, what's your final call on the situation? It's last chance to give it another go, or complete the karmic cycle and move on. It asks you, are you going to, do you need to forgive anything here, move forward with it, or let go and start something new? It's the past and the future coming together. And you might feel quite vulnerable at this stage. Look at these people, they've dropped everything, their clothing, their possessions, and they're offering themselves up to the divine, saying, okay, what's next? Guide me in this. And it is said that the Judgment also can indicate that midlife crisis, and you don't have to be middle-aged to experience those feelings. It just is like I said, a big transition between your values now and potentially the values that were imposed on you, hence the Hierophant. So it's just that energy of challenging that. So yeah, and it's also said to have a 20-year energy judgment. So whatever comes out of this situation, I feel like this shift or this, this moving into your new set of values is going to be, it's going to take you through for the next 20 years, and then you may find yourself going through this process again because we're continually changing and evolving. So it can also indicate, someone coming back from the past, or, like business dealings internationally, someone coming back from the past in terms of a relationship. Those sort of things happen to tie up the loose ends or to really sort of make the decision of, whether to take up on that offer or to carry on to new opportunities. Now, whatever you do decide, I think you're going to be celebrating it. You're going to feel that it's really the right thing that you've done. The energy is going to shift up and be just, after these energies here, this is so light. You're like, yes, the weight's been lifted off. I'm celebrating with friends and family, and I'm just feeling really, really good about my decision. So, beautiful card to align with judgment. And then you have the Three of Crystals coming in towards the end of the week. So Three of Crystals is actually, in this context, about building something new. So now that you've kind of shifted all this energy, you can now collaborate with others and build something new. So it's quite interesting that you have double 3 energy, 3 being the number of creation. And both of these cards have an element of collaborating with others. So I really feel that you're going to be reaching out to other people and celebrating with them, but also maybe, getting excited together and planning your next chapter. You might be going into a new business venture with them, or, talking about, planning a holiday together. Whatever way, it's going to be, you creating almost like, when you get together with your friends or family and you sort of just start having conversation, and then somebody says something, just throws it out there as what they think is a silly idea, like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we took that trip of a lifetime next year? And everyone's like, oh, I can't afford it, all this coming out. And then you get the one person in the group that says, well, actually, that's not such a bad idea. Maybe we can make this happen. So I feel like some of those conversations could come out this week. You be open to the creation energy and try not to block it with those logical thoughts that just pop up and tell you why you can't do something, because this is you moving into your new chapter. Really beautiful stuff. So Scorpio, that's what I have for you this week. Good luck with the shifting energies, and just keeping in mind it's a general reading, so it won't resonate for everyone, and not everyone will find themselves in this situation, but we'll see you for another reading next week.